take a look at some game film. Now, this is the SEC championship game. We're looking at the number 1 ranked offensive lineman. We're going to start with this. So grading out a player is a plus or minus. That's what you give. You give a plus or minus. Now, there are a number of things that go into that plus or minus. One is assignment. One is assignment, effort, technique, and
result.
Assignment, effort, technique, and then the play, whether the play was successful or not, based on the principles of what's a successful play. So for a run play, it would be 4 yards or more per carry, and then you got completions. Then you have you get graded on whether you give up a pressure or a hit or a sack, things of that nature. Those are all put into the grade. So what we're going to do is we're just going to call these. We probably got to keep count here. Plus or minuses based on technique, and we'll explain the technique as we know it and how it's being performed on the field. Because there's a lot of different things that maybe as a fan you don't notice, but as former players, we definitely can look at it and we can tell you what technique they should be using based on the kind of play that they're running. So let's get it rolling. Okay, so they run a quick bubble screen here.
And for those of you at home, this is the angle that all offensive linemen watch.
Yeah, this is what we watch. We don't watch the other angle.
We call it the ass end of the play.
Yeah. All right, so this is going to be a bubble screen to the left. And generally what happens when you go with bubble screen to the left, the offensive line is going to go to the right. So your left tackle is going to be trying to pick. He's going to try and fake as if he's going to take his inside footwork here. That's what he should do. This guy should try and engage. It's going to be quick, so it's not really much really required of the tackle here other than to not let this guy get into the passing lane. I guess in the league, what we would do here, well, they motioned this guy over, didn't they? So that's probably why he didn't have to take on that guy. See here. He's just going to be running inside zone to 99. Look like pretty good get off here. Yeah, that's a good angle. He's got his second foot in the ground already. Probably, I mean, you not so much up on the toe, which that means you're leaning a little bit, but that's not going to really, I don't think that's going to affect his ability to just kind of get in this guy's way. He doesn't need to really block this guy in any particular way. He just can't lose him up the field quick. And your guard here is going to be providing some presence so that this guy doesn't think that he can just take that lane inside of the tackle. But I like the way it starts. He might be he's fine, I guess, but might be a tad high on pad work, but not a big deal.
This is essentially a playoff.
This isn't really a play that he doesn't really got to do much on this play.
Yeah, you can't really fuck that up. Best play in football. Well, second best play in football.
All right, so here, pass set looks pretty good. I've always been and as a guard, you're usually in a 3-point stance, regardless of whether it's pass or run. I never really liked the 2-point stance as a guard just because, it's hard to run block in a 2-point stance. That's just kind of ridiculous to me to try to. With Evan Neal here, I would like to see his hands up, at least one of them off his knees. I always felt like the hands on the knees for linemen it kind of takes away from the readiness. One trick that I used to use, which I didn't realize how good this worked for me until I paid attention to it, was I squeezed my hand and I squeezed my hand open and closed like this the whole time while I was in my stance. My offhand, I would just do this. And for some reason, that made my hands move faster, like keeping the nervous system, keeping everything moving and keeping your hands like in a state of motion. So when the ball got snapped, my hands would be ready. They would just fire off.
Yeah, but I agree. The further you have to move, the longer it's going to take. That's science.
Exactly. So also here, I think he has pretty good sets. I think he's got he had good hand placement there. I think that this is solid right here. I don't think there's any problem with how he's handling that. He's got, I think maybe get settled a little bit quicker when he's in his stance. I mean, when he makes contact, because this is not.
Yeah, that's not
making
ideal.
Contact with his arms is good, but his feet here, this is actually not good.
Off. You would ideally want to be parallel with the line of scrimmage.
You don't want to be turned when you're making contact.
So you see where his body's turned towards number 4 there, towards the sideline, essentially. So he's
look at the difference between him and the right tackle, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when you're, open up that shoulder, to the sideline there, it's creating a two-way go for the defensive player. And also, I'd like to see like where the right tackle right foot is behind his left.
Exactly.
So keeping your stagger in your stance. His feet are basically on the same yard line. So they're just kind of flat, but still turn his body towards the sideline. It's really a awkward looking position right there. And the reason you want to keep that stagger is so you maintain like your balance.
You maintain your balance, and
you're trying to do
directing.
Get you off balance one way or another, so it's harder for you to recover to his counter move. And in this position, and he's lucky this guy, just stays upfield. I don't know what kind of stunt they have called or whatever. And also he's got the slide coming too, so he can be a little bit more aggressive if he wants.
He's got, and mentally, if he's thinking that, fine. But his left guard's getting beat.
With
the swim move, so he really doesn't have any help.
He's going to be in for a rude awakening if he thinks that help is coming.
Yeah. I think that's spot on though, because you look at his feet. Both of his feet are on the same yard line. They're both flat on the ground. He is frozen in place for us. He would be like, if there was a quick move, he would be frozen because there's no way for him to get to realign his body. He got his hands on the guy pretty quick, which saves his footwork. And that's something that, you will learn in the NFL will not save you anymore. In college, you can get away with having quick, fast hands to snatch guys up and not having your footwork right. But in the NFL, you'd have to look like he would have to have his hands like this and his legs like this with the right tackle. His hands like he is at left with his feet positioned the way they are on the right, because that would give him more balance as a player. That'll give more balance on the field. He'll be able to redirect better, and he will be able to actually provide more resistance to keep himself from being collapsed in the pocket, which, if you look at the little hop that he took there at the end of that, he took a little bitty hop to rebalance himself because he didn't have any balance. Right there. He had to rebalance himself.
Yeah, I would say plus overall, just because.
Plus overall with a note on footwork. Now let's go on to the next one. This looks like some kind of weird. Oh no, they're running the ball. Oh. All right, let's take a look.
Oh, that's weird. All right, the tight end moving behind him when he's pulling.
Tackle boss, right? Like the tackle's pulling. You got a wide out or a tight end Y position that's coming back across the formation. It's going to probably block right here on 44.
Yeah.
Or 44 is being read by the QB, but I'm pretty sure that
he's either going to get blocked or at least bluffed.
Yeah, that's what he went into go block that one. He went in to go block him. So he pulls out. It's a decent pull. Probably could be a little bit faster. I mean, the NFL, they're going to say, we need you to go faster.
It's a large man.
So I'm not saying he can go faster. I'm just saying that's something you're going to hear on the next level. We need you to move faster. So because that guy might be in the NFL, 4 is firing up the field right now when he sees that.
Yeah, and maybe that means drop a few lbs.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think he's listed at like 360.
They're gonna probably say we need you to drop some weight too.
But I mean, he's
He
like
will.
6'9" or something, I think. So you're inherently going to be pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
But just to work on your agility and stamina and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's a good pull. It's a good pull.
Yeah,
He
good
probably can
assignment.
stay on. It's hard to stay on those, late. It is.
Can you still cut that guy in college?
I have no idea. I don't think you can. I don't know.
They got rid of that in the league. I'm pretty sure.
No, you don't want to do that front side. Not because that'll clog up that lane.
Exactly. Now you got to jump over that shit.
You just gotta you gotta block him from the inside out and widen him. Or if he plays to the inside of you, then you just hook him and you go and then you go around
you
it.
bounce it outside.
So right here, if he, it's a decent enough job. I think the finish could have been a little bit better just because he got shed pretty quick after he made contact.
Look at one more time. I want to look at his feet because he must have had a narrow base to be getting shed like that drastically by a much smaller man.
Yeah, he got shed pretty quickly.
I mean, he's in good position there, but he's
a good position.
A little top heavy.
He's leaning. I know with the concept, if this play is there's a two-way option for this guy. Like we said before, he's either going to hook around or he's going to kick out. Now, this is a good job right now at kicking out. Now, what you want to do is now you want to break your feet down and run this guy wherever he tries to go. You run him further that way than he wants to go. So right here, I would say probably, maintaining the block is probably maintaining his technique is probably a minus here to me, but
I agree.
His effort is good because he ran off the ball. He picked up the right guy, and he started off with good, solid technique. He just, you can't, while you're running your feet, you have to also understand that there's going to be a point where a guy's going to try to shed. So you have to break down just a little bit so you can adjust to that. Yeah. So other than that, I think
he can see the ball. You can't. So at some point, he's going to say, okay, guy's going over here.
It's time to go.
Yeah. I got no problem with the result because the running back was able to get past the block.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Not great, but good enough at this level.
All right. So this one right here, it looks like we got a stunt coming or a blitz. This is a pass set. We got a blitz coming. Got the linebacker coming into the A. The tackle is looping out. I think right here, the issue that I see is he needs to, when you don't have somebody over you, and this is a little bit of just a pre-snap situation, this would be his this would be his 4 down. 1, 2. Can y'all see this arrow?
I can't.
You can't see it? Shit. Okay, so number 4, 88, 41, and the guy next to him
that has his butt up in the air.
With his butt up in there. That's your 4 down lineman. So these are the guys that the offensive linemen have to account for regardless of anything. And when they blitz, you're going to see that number 4 is going to drop into coverage. 88 is going to loop and he should be looping wide to replace where number 4 would have been rushing to.
Yep, is to have contained.
17 is going to blitz into the gap that 88 was in because everybody's still responsible for a gap. And then you're going to see this, I think you'll see 7 come into the A gap here. And then I think they drop back. Let's see. Yeah, so you got the same thing on both sides. Linebackers coming to blitz to the inside, defensive tackles looping to the outside, and defensive ends dropping into coverage. It's a lot of shit going on there. So as an offensive lineman, you have to understand that if your guy goes away, you look to the inside.
Yep, someone's got to replace.
When you look to the inside, you need to close down that gap because he can only take one of these guys. Now, I think that there was a mistake here for him to not squeeze down. He gives this guy a run, allows him to get a run on the inside, but he does a great job, I think, of recovering. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, great initial punch.
Shit.
Great initial punch because he was beat there. Part of it is 88 didn't recognize what he had. He should have just cut up right in here. Don't go touch him. He's kind of giving you a little lane there. But this is, again, this is excellent. That is excellent. He's got his feet in the ground.
You can win with that.
He's delivering the contact. It looks good. I would say that he made it harder for himself than it had to be because he did not close down on that gap. If you close down on that gap, you actually force 88 to run wide of you, but that is good. That is good. The only thing you don't want is for him to get slippery, and then he has all of this space to work with.
If he gets a little bit more vertical instead of floating out there towards him, I think he could be in trouble. But I'm not so sure that he realized he had him. I think the left guard was not supposed to take 17 because you see the back. The back goes.
The back filled in. Oh, the back filled.
So I think he should have stuck with him. I'm not. See, this is why it's hard because you're not sure who's supposed to be doing what. Because if the back takes 17 and the guard stays on 88, now they're both blocking 88. But 16 comes late, so maybe one of them could peel off on that guy. But I can't believe that you'd be assigned to a safety essentially. I think the back should have him.
I think you might have something there because the running back is going to take first threat and he's going to take any A gap threat in this situation here. Any blitzer, he's going to take the inside guy because
you're in the gun.
The offensive line is supposed to pick up the D line here.
So in the gun,
the O line does.
Go ahead.
Anything that if you have so 4 drops into coverage, you only have responsibility to help back to the inside.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have anybody in particular that you're supposed to pick up, but you have to squeeze down to help. And here, he does that. He does that to an extent. His guy drops off, he comes back in. I think maybe the guard, and he's not wrong here because he had a big.
Neal is right. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Look inside.
I think Neal is right here. I think our left guard. Our left
guard both be on 88.
They both should be on 88. I wouldn't get mad necessarily at the guard for taking this guy if he doesn't think that the running back is going to take him, but he should know that. Then if he does do that and the running back takes this guy, then he should come off of the running back's guy and go back to help because there's another guy coming here. It looks like there's another guy coming at 16.
So this is what I think. You should know if the running back has that guy or not.
Yeah, I think you should know that. You should know if the running back has him because the running back came decisively. It was not even he didn't think. He was ready for that guy.
You're in the gun, so there's no need to squeeze on an A-gap threat.
With the running back there, you don't need to squeeze with an A-gap threat.
We would
only squeeze on an A-gap when the quarterback's
under center. So he should have stuck with 88, felt the bump from Neal, and then gone to help further inside. At that time, the backs man probably would have been past him on a different level, but he could have been in time to block 16 there. So I think the guard probably had a missed assignment there.
Yeah, I think the guard might. I think he get an Emmy for that too.
I still give him 2 pluses there.
I definitely give him a plus on that. After we worked it out, how things were supposed to go, yeah, he definitely gets a plus on that one.
Making the best out of that one.
Yeah.
Hell of a punch. Shit.
Hell of a punch. Great hand.
360 and 6'9" with long ass arms. You should be punching cats that.
You should be knocking them out. Okay, this one
that wasn't good.
Doesn't look good from just first thing I noticed here, and maybe it's me. You can tell me if you see the same thing. Effort.
Yeah.
On that play. Doesn't mean I'm not saying he doesn't have good effort, but he's a big boy. They're a couple plays in. He doesn't necessarily have a huge responsibility on this play. And this is a run pass option, it looks like. You've got 41 blitzing. He's covered by the tight end here. But also his job as a left tackle is to make sure he doesn't get beat to the inside. He has to make everything go wide on this because you've got a run pass option here.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get beat on the inside because if it's a run and you give that up, it's going to be a loss. And if it's a pass, you may be giving up pressure to the quarterback fairly quickly. But here, he does fine, but he doesn't use any technique at all to make this block. which that's not good. That's not good because you're practicing a bad habit right there. I mean, at the very least. And he's got his hands low. His hands are late. And then he leans into him.
Like skips out there almost. It's not really.
Yeah, he skips, kind of hops into the block. And, you know, if this were a pass play, a regular pass play, that could be a sack. That could be a hit on the QB. All right, now here I think we get our first look at a straight up pass rush towards him. Let's take a look at it. See, now again, when I look at these plays, I always look at where are your hands. Are you ready to shoot them?
They look low to me.
Feet.
And his feet are. I was going to say, hands look low.
Yeah, his hands are low.
They're still down by his knees, like 2 steps into a set.
The hands have got to be ready to go. They always have to be ready to go because you are going to be facing the best athlete on the field, usually at the left tackle position. That's who you're playing against. But the thing is you want to have your hands ready to shoot. And the only way you can really have them ready to shoot is to have them like stationed up near your chest like a boxer. Like that's literally where you need them to be. So you can just shoot one at a time, or you can shoot 2 at a time. You can use different combinations for making contact with a defender based on, you know, where they're at, based on your position against them, how what angles you have. Now, I mean, even he still got a good initial pop on him, but now look who's in control of the pass rush. The DN's under him. You can see that now because he's being lifted up a little bit. His back is straightened out. This defensive end is getting a little bit of a lean into him. He's got a hand on his arm trying to pull that arm down. Now the defensive end's hand isn't necessarily in the prime position to make a play off of it.
He's a little lucky there.
It looks like he got him with a nice rip down to pull that arm off. Let's take a look.
Nice. Yeah, he's a little lucky. The 44 misses his left-hand punch here. It's kind of up over. It's like
over
glancing his shoulder instead of under his
in the V of the neck. He's got his hands in the V of the neck.
Now, if he lands that, I mean, he could be in trouble. But you know, ifs and buts, candies and nuts.
For real,
ends up being a good job of protection here.
Good protection.
He's long enough where he's still maintaining contact with both hands here, which is, I could have never done that.
Yeah, I mean,
some things are just God-given.
He's got the long arms. He's going up against a bull rush. Now he takes a little bit of a shock, but see, he gets his legs in a better position, which really,
how when he hops to get in a better position, how he ends up back in the stagger. Just stay there. Stay in the stagger the whole time. You don't have
stagger is where that's where he's going to have some strength, and he does a good job there ripping to pull the guy down. I mean, that's strength right there. That's just brute strength that he used to get himself out of that one. But I'll give him a plus on that.
That's balls.
I'll give him 2 pluses.
So that's balls.
That's balls. Yeah,
that
rip is dangerous.
When you do that, you got to give up some ground. And he
ends up
you got to give up ground. And
if it doesn't pull him to the ground when you do it, he is going to finish running you into the quarterback.
Right.
It becomes tricky. It gets a little bit tricky.
Oh, no question. But he does have some shit you can't teach.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He does have some shit you can't teach.
I mean, I could work with you all day. I can't make you be 6'9", 360.
For real.
Long ass arms.
So here, I think this is a good one. This is another one where he's not required to do much. I think he's fine here. Doesn't really, I'm not going to be a harp on effort on that kind of play because shit, I know when I was playing, you give me one of these fucking plays, you asking for a minus.
Yeah, you're the backside of a
backside. Don't really have to do shit. My guy,
you're not even asked to
scoop.
All. Yeah, you're not even asked to scoop. You're just manning the backside. So just make sure your guy doesn't make the tackle.
Yeah, see how the left guard did right there. You don't want to be the left guard.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Because you're supposed to. He has the same. Oh my god, because he has the same assignment. Well, just don't get beat to the inside. You're not part of this play.
That's a top
now that'll tell you another thing. Too.
Yeah, Jordan Davis is no joke. But I'll give him a plus on that.
Yeah, I give him a plus.
I would like to see him technique-wise stay more inside. That's it. All right, here we go. Pass
Okay,
set. That's
so
what
here we
people
go.
wanna see.
First look here at what does not look like a very good decision by him or his left guard. Let's take a look. So there's a stunt being run here. This is what it looks like. It looks like this is a TE. So tackle is penetrating. This is a terrible job this is terrible position by the left guard.
He's really fucked him.
He's got his hands in there, but he's late. That's why his elbows are bent under the defensive ends.
And
he's kind of got his weight. It looked like his weight's kind of falling into his heels a little bit here. But this left guard is very bad in his position. He is already beat. And now the only thing he can do to save this is to launch. And we know he's not launching 99, but to launch 99 across the face of 73. That is the proper way. If he had a good pass set here and he was good, had separation, had him locked out, it would be a much easier task to pull off. But this is a TE. His goal should be here. One, these two offensive linemen are on two different levels. Even though they look like they're even with each other, the tackle's actually a little bit further back than the guard is. They're not on the same level. So with this, you would want to launch this guy across his face so that he can then just sit down on that defensive tackle. And, it would probably be him he would have to be redirecting into the line of scrimmage to hold this defensive tackle after he's been sent. And then this looping defensive end should be picked up not at the last moment, but you want to make sure that your tackle has this defensive tackle before you just leave to go pick up the looper. You got time for the looper. You don't have to go automatically. But here, because he's in bad position, bad hand placement, bad body placement, hips completely turned to the sideline, as we just talked about, he has no way of picking this up. The tackle here, let's take a look. The tackle sets too far out. Now, I'm betting this was probably a second and long or a third and long. Yep, second and long. So you're going to get stunts. He's set too far. This guy is not committing to pass rushing you. And that's something that you can't really coach right now because these guys aren't pros.
Yeah,
and a professional coach will teach them to feel
and
know the situation. You got to feel this. That defensive end is not committing to you.
Right.
He hasn't committed to you the same way he's been committing on every other pass rush.
It doesn't look like every other rush.
It doesn't look like every other rush.
You can help yourself by dragging off the 3 technique. So like you said, don't get vertical set.
Vertical set.
He has his right hand up, but it's not doing shit because he's so far away from his guard.
Exactly. Now
you could damn near use the defensive tackle's momentum to propel yourself backwards. I mean, that's how, if you're closer in a vertical set, you could take advantage of him rushing up the field to get back even further and make it easier for your guard. Now the guard
make it almost
terrible position.
Yeah.
But there's almost nothing
that's a great point. That's a great point. This tackle Evan Neal should be, his inside foot should be lined up with this tackle's knee at this point. That's where his body should be, with this inside leg lined up on this guy's outside knee. And with that arm up, he's actually going to could possibly be making physical contact with the D tackle before he makes contact with the defensive end. Because he's got his arm up to protect. He's protecting himself.
It is a long-ass arm.
Yeah, he's got a long-ass arm, but he's protecting himself from the penetrator, who is the defensive tackle on this stunt. And he's making this guard's life a little bit easier because now the guard will be able to send him to the tackle without, having to literally exert every inch of energy because he has to toss this guy 5 yards and then rebound and pick up a guy who's looping. So basically what we have, the issue here is that these guys are not playing with the awareness of a stunt that could be run in this play. So usually if I'm at the line of scrimmage with my tackle and it's third, let's say it's third and long, I'm telling my tackle, hey, stunt, watch stunt, watch stunt. Oh, this guy's lined up a little bit looser than he's been lining up all game. Hey, watch stunt, watch stunt.
Yeah, give me
so
a
my
hand.
tackle is going to vertical set immediately.
Yep.
he's going to set on a straight line, going straight back from where he is in his stance. He's not going to widen. He's not going to widen at all. He is going to start going straight back, and he's going to have an inside hand up to keep any defender off of him while we make the switch on the game. And, if it doesn't happen, he's able to float back outside just a little bit to try and regain that position that he would have at a normal pass protection set. But for that, you do that. That's the instant kind of response to an alert on a game is a vertical set for both guys.